Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Porsche Clearwater, and guess what? I have that vehicle that many people have proclaimed saved Porsche as a company. It's this vehicle right here. What is it? It's a 2023 Porsche Macan. This particular one is a Macan T. But before we get into Porsche's smallest crossover SUV that they currently have available for sale, let's talk about what's going on here. It goes back to 2013 at the Los Angeles International Auto Show. That is when the Macan debuted. And a lot of people were excited because basically it had been about 10 years since there was a new SUV. The first one, the OG, being the Cayenne, which is a little bit larger. The Macan being smaller, of course, having that smaller price point has been very successful for bringing people into the Porsche fold. This is a great gateway vehicle, and then opening up the spectrum of other Porsche models and trims that hopefully the customer would want to obtain. Now, what's fascinating is today there's a lot of competition in this luxury crossover SUV segment. The Macan is definitely one of them. Of course, you got your rivals from BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi. But what I want to find out is the Macan T the one to get over the competition? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this copper ruby color, really stunning color on this Macan T, and find out. Right off the bat, like I said, the metallic copper ruby really does a fantastic job of making this car classy and sporty at the same time. Now, if you're wondering what the heck does T stand for, it stands for touring. And basically T has been part of that lineup for many years. The 911 T was the first. Now, as we come to the front of the business, what you're gonna notice is that unique style to the Macan's headlights. Not a lot of changes have happened over the years since the Macan first came into fruition, but you'll see that classic Porsche design definitely blends in with the rest of the Porsche vehicles. As we work our way down, of course, you're gonna have full LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, and the way that they do it is actually a quadrant of LED daytime running lamps within that headlight housing. Working our way down, you see that metal flake, just like your grandpa's bass fishing boat, in that copper ruby color. And then as we come down to ground level, of course, we have our bright LED turn signals. I love the way they've kept this smooth and made it that way so it's not trying to look like something it's not. A lot of times manufacturers like Mercedes will put little grill designs to try to make this look like a grill, but it's not. Clean style, I'm okay with that. Working your way down, a little bit more flat black, the rest is body color. Now, as we come across the low slung nose on the Macan, it has that attention to detail, like I said, that makes you know that this is a Porsche right away. You're gonna have this large opening, fully functional, and you'll notice behind there the active shutters that open and close. I like the way it's all flat black. You do have a forward-facing camera, and this texture design looks very tasteful as well. Just a way to kind of bring a little extra something to the front of this Macan T. We continue our way down. You'll notice more openings, fully functional, even along the bottom, and we do have a large intercooler because this car is turbocharged and intercooled. But definitely, like I said, this being more of a compact crossover SUV, has the style of the bigger brother, but not that higher price. Now, as we rise up, of course, you're gonna get that Stuttgart famous badge, the Porsche crest. Love the colors, love the history, and then very clean style. Nice rise, large rise in the center. Everything else kind of just teardrops off the sides towards the A-pillars. And then as we come around the block here, what are we working with wheel and tire setup on our T? So here's the style of wheel. It's that classic 5-spoke design, machined aluminum, gloss black. You'll notice the large, flat black 6-piston calipers. So you're getting the business. You're getting the bigger brakes. You're getting the nice style wheels. And that's one of the things that Porsches, you can option these 20 different ways from Sunday where no two will look alike. But let me know how you feel about the classic style wheel with this copper ruby color. I really think it's working very well. Now, when you go Macan T, even though this is at a lower price point, you're getting some really nice goodies. One of those goodies is PASM. What is PASM? That is that Porsche active suspension management system. So you have the adaptive dampers, all four corners, and then of course you're gonna get some other nice touches. Wait until you hear as we go around the vehicle. Now, with those nice large calipers and that beautiful size wheel, what are we talking about on the sides? You're looking at, believe it or not, a 21-inch wheel, which looks ginormous on the smaller frame of the Macan. Tires are 265 on the width, 40 series sidewall, and we do have all-wheel drive. Another nice thing about Macans compared to some of the competition, they're rear-wheel drive biased, not front-wheel drive. So it's gonna give you that traditional Porsche driving experience with the all-wheel drive supremacy. Now, as we rise up, you'll notice that the fender line is actually where the hood comes down. So the top of the hood and the fender are all one piece. They rise up when you open it. I love the way you got color matched on the mirror caps, LED turn signals, 360-degree cameras. You'll notice the gloss black up top for the roof rails, and we do have a panoramic sunroof. Very nice touch. Another thing that I like is nothing is like in your face with this particular one. You can go Python green, you could go speed yellow. What you'll find though is in the gloss black trim, it actually says very tastefully Macan T. So Macan T definitely gives you that special touch, not only from a namesake standpoint, but also, like I said, with PASM, you get a different transmission, you get the sport chronograph package. That's all on the interior. I'll show you that. Working our way towards the rear, great overall shape. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the Macan when they do the next redesign. Remember, Porsche is all about evolution rather than revolution. And then when we spin it around back, clean style. You have a nice long low roof spoiler. You do have the wiper. I wish they would just tuck that underneath there. Let me know how you feel about the wiper. I feel like this rear end would be just even sexier without having that there. Love the way they did the taillights. I mean, look at that great LED work. Everything else is clear. You got the Porsche name and the Macan T name in this gunmetal gray finish. And then working our way down, look at what we have. That sport exhaust, quad tip exhaust. It's gonna give you nice sound out of all four pipes. I like the way they did that diamond style to the surface there, like they did up front. And then the lower area in the center is super duper clean, but definitely, like I said, has that distinct style of Porsche. Let's see what's powering it underneath the hood of this Macan. All right, guys, we got the hood open. Very interesting. It's almost like the Mini, the new Minis, how they have the cutouts for where the headlight housings are in the hood. Kind of a cool touch. You pop the hood and the headlight housing is still there. What do we have underneath the hood? Now, when you go Macan T, you're getting the base power plant. I do think that they have a tasteful engine cover, and the way that they arranged everything underneath the hood looks Porsche perfect. Now, what do we have though? It's a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 261 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. When you go Macan T, you actually get the lighter 7-speed PDK over the 8-speed automatic, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds flat, top speed 144 miles per hour, and that is governed. The top speed is governed. All-wheel drive, like I said. The vehicle weighs around 4,000 pounds. MPGs, 19 in the city, 25 on the highway. Now, when you go Macan T, like I said, you're getting PASM, the adaptive dampers. It has air suspension. It's got stiffer anti-roll bars. And like I said, there's going to be many touches on the interior as well when it comes to what you get for the price. But definitely interesting to see this power plant. Obviously, if you go Macan GTS, that comes with the twin turbo V6. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this 4-banger and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this ruby copper metallic Porsche Macan T. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been looking at Beamers, I've been looking at Benzes, I've been looking at Audis. None of them really seem to check off all the boxes, and I've always envisioned myself being a Porsche person. How much is this Macan T? Very good question. This one has an MSRP of $77,000, but let's see what you get, not only in this one, but in the Macan T package to the door panels. I love Porsche's clean style. The one thing that's a little heavy is the gloss black, but you're really not going to be touching that up top. I like the silver trim, very classy, very sporty. Armrest covered with the leather and the stitching, and then the door pocket is a great size where easily you're going to be able to get 4 large cinnamon buns and a Frappuccino to wash it down, and we have the Bose sound system. So that's another nice touch. Going from the door panel to the dash, it's the touches. The fine touches with the stitching, the materials. Little gloss black heavy here, which might cause glare, but from a fingerprint standpoint, you're really not going to be touching that unless you want to be a jerk. Now, as you slide in, there's the Sport Chrono Pack. That comes with the Macan T. So you got the stopwatch, the clock, the whole shabam, plus there's some more good stuff I'll show you in a second. Sliding your way down, you got the nice large 12-inch infotainment system, navigation. We could go into our car setup. You can make all your adjustments. I like to hit vehicle. That's where you can make different setups and whatnot. You got all of your different apps. Really, really intuitive system, easy to use. We're going to go ahead and throw it into reverse. Backup camera, clear resolution. You do have your trajectory, and I like the way that you can actually go through. There's out the front, there's out the rear. How about the top? There we go. So it's kind of cool the way you could scroll through all of those different functions, and you got the 360. Put it back into park. This is going to control our 7-speed DCT, no 8-speed automatic, and that's the PDK transmission, very fast shifting transmission. I forgot to point out you do have knobs for tuning and for volume. Nice touch with the silver on the AC vents. And then you do have dual climate control with these great toggle switches that are metal. You even have dual fan blower speed, which is a nice extra touch. You do get heated seats, no ventilated seats, and that's a zonk at $77,000. You got your PASM, that's the suspension with the Macan T. You have, of course, your Porsche Twinkie holder, official for one Twinkie. The Macan name, 2 cup holders. There's your Porsche key fob. Looking good. I like the way they shape it like a Porsche 911. Really cool. Semi-soft on the armrest, lifted up. We have some felt lining. You got wireless charging, 2 USBs. They're actually C's in here. And you have enough room, I would say, for 1 Rubik's Cube. So if you've been practicing for the World Rubik's Cube Championships, you could have your Rubik's Cube in there. Just so you know, I had a student once when I used to teach high school that actually could solve a Rubik's Cube in 5 seconds. Just saying, I've seen it with my own eyes. The last part of the package when you go Macan T are these sports seats. You get the Porsche crest, just like on the badging on the front of the Porsche. You got these great material, nice kind of race text material style with the leather bolstering, full electric assist for the passenger and for the driver. And then what's even better on top of that is you have your panoramic roof with power shade. Nice to have that one-touch operation. Look, Mom, no hands. But why don't you come over here? I got the best thing about the Macan T, this GT spec steering wheel I want to show you coming over. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do get a very nice aluminum sill plate, nice dark aluminum with the Macan T name, lights up LED. I like the way they have this silver area where your seat controls are, easy to get to, looks really good. Sports seats are fantastic. I love the bolstering. You're gonna feel sporty in this thing, and I can't wait to take it for a spin. I promised you GT, we got GT. Plucked right out of a GT car. This is that leather wrap steering wheel. Look at the beautiful stitching. Love the way they hollow out the spokes of the wheel. You do have your drive mode selector knob on the Macan T, and we do have metal paddles for the PDK, that 7-speed DCT transmission. Manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and the Macan still has the older dash. I personally love the older dash because you have that nice large analog tack in the center. Speedometer is kind of redundant because you have a digital speedometer, and then you have that digital display over on the right. The newer infotainment and digital gauge clusters is what you find like on the Porsche Taycan. But I know Steven really loves this one because he loves that tachometer. No head-up display in the Macan T. That's something that you got to spec up, option up if you want to have. But why don't we go ahead? Feels good up front. I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of room, like I said. Let's get in the back seat and see if your passengers are going to feel just as good as you do driving this thing as they are sitting back in the Macan T. All right, guys, I'm pretty blown away by the room in this back seat. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. I have not shrunk since the last time you saw me 2 nanoseconds ago. Look how far away I am from the headliner. And that's with the panoramic roof in this Macan T. Backs of the seats, you have the leather, nice solid pockets, put a couple IHOP silver dollar pancakes. And then of course you have 2 AC vents with your AC controls back here. Heated seats, but no ventilated seats. I'm okay with there not being any ventilated seats in the back at this particular spec, but you do have 2 USB-Cs. Love the room in here. Absolutely love the room and space. And then of course you pull this bad boy down, just enough room for your sweaty arm. You see the sweat? This is what happens when you work hard, sweat, but we have enough room for my arm as well, even though it is wet from sweat. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the trunk, because I want to see how much junk we can fit in this Macan T. All right, guys, time to get in that cargo area. One of the nice things is I think you're going to be impressed with how much room Porsche was able to squeeze in. You actually hit the button up top, raises it up. Now the first thing I like is that you got a little bit lower cargo floor. That gives you a nice edge here. So when you go to the grocery store and your watermelons and cantaloupes are out of the bags and loose, they're not going to roll out the back. And you'll notice that nice usable space. Now on the passenger side, you do have the Nordschleife Nürburgring. That is for your race day Twinkies when you go to the Nürburgring. Underneath the cargo floor, you do have a spare, which is wonderful. This is your Bose subwoofer. Thump-a-thump-thump. And then, of course, those seats are going to fold down. Now, if you want to know how much room we have in that cargo area, let me tell you. With the seats up, you're looking at 17 cubic feet of space. Put the seats down, you're looking at almost 40 cubic feet of space in this compact crossover SUV. But you know what? It's that time. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead, go on throttle in the Macan T and see how it goes. All right, guys, we are in this 2023 Porsche Macan T. Right away, I absolutely love the way the seats wrap around you. Nothing too over the top, but you definitely know that they're sports seats and not the standard seats. Getting to the infotainment system well within reach. You got the Sport Chrono package with the clock right there, top dead center. And really just a great layout. Now, yes, it does feel a little dated if you get in a refresh Cayenne or a Taycan or a 992 Porsche 911. But even though it's a little dated, it's been done right. I mean, I think the fact that you have the larger infotainment system really helps with the overall effect. Love on the GT steering wheel how you have that drive mode selector knob. We have it in Sport Plus mode, and that's going to change everything from steering, throttle, and suspension. And then, of course, we get to the point that's probably one of the most important, is the on-throttle experience in this Macan T. But if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go, yeah! Nice smooth shifts from the 7-speed PDK. Really allows the 4-cylinder turbo to do what it needs to. Now, of course, you are going to get some of that buzziness from the 4-cylinder turbo. There's no way around that. But the way that this PDK behaves, you'll find out very quickly why all the other manufacturers have tried to emulate what Porsche has done with this transmission. Another nice thing about the 7-speed PDK over the 8-speed automatic is that it's lighter, so you get to save some weight in that department. But the automatic shifts are very precise, very consistent, and very purposeful. Love the way on this Macan you have the nice large Brembos. And this steering wheel is not only great to look at and to hold on to, but also it's really precise. So you're gonna get that Porsche driving experience that you come to expect. And that's one thing that Porsche has done so well in their whole lineup, is having that unique identity that makes a Porsche when it comes to driving. Even the Taycan, which is full EV, has that Porsche signature driving experience. The great news about this Macan is that it doesn't feel like a super small crossover SUV. And what I mean by that is you have plenty of room in here. It feels just the right size, to be honest with you. But as you can see, going down the road, even in Sport Plus, rides really well. There's not a lot of wind noise and road noise, even though we have the optional larger wheels. And visibility, they do a great job of just laying everything out in here. All the materials, the fit, the finish, feels spectacular, especially the steering wheel. Having the tachometer smack dab in the center there really just gives you that acknowledgement that it's about performance in this crossover SUV. But we're gonna see how she handles going into this left-hand bend. I mean, look at this. With the all-wheel drive, very smooth, very consistent, and very precise. On throttle, here we go. I love the shifts from the PDK. It really does a great job getting the power to the ground, but being precise about it. That's the thing Porsches are so known for, is when it comes to placing the vehicle, whether you're on a track, your favorite twisty road, or just normal driving, it's very easy to hit that precise driving experience. Now, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna manually shift with the paddles on the back of the steering wheel here. You have a gear indicator in the center, which is nice. Second gear, on throttle. On the brakes, look at this. Nice turn in, holds a line great, drifted out. Here we go, on throttle. Does a great job with just upshifts and downshifts are just so freaking quick. So quick. It's really phenomenal. And then the fact that they're metal paddles, they're not plastic, it just gives you that great quality that you come to expect from this brand as well. All right, guys, here we go, on throttle. On the brakes, those big Brembos. Nice. Yee-hoo! Love this car. It's just a pocket rocket, it really is. Another thing I want to show you is that when you hit the button in the center of the drive mode, you're gonna get extra boost for a certain amount of time, and it actually shows up in the gauge. Watch this. So we're gonna go on throttle. Launch control, on throttle, here we go. Then you get the sport response, gives you that overboost, and allows you to take advantage of extra boost to get a faster acceleration time. And the fact that you have that launch control, which is so easy to activate, you don't have to have a freaking Captain Crunch decoder ring to figure it out. You just step on the brake, you step on the throttle, and you're good to go. And I like the way it's got a nice large countdown clock with a graph to let you know exactly how much more time you have in that overboost mode. That's one of the things that I like that they bring into this Macan T. But I'm hoping that you enjoyed this overall review of what Porsche's smallest crossover SUV is bringing for the money. We're gonna get back to Clearwater Porsche and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Porsche Clearwater. Definitely want to thank Larry, Mike, and Mo for getting us access to this 2023 Porsche Macan T. Let me know what you think. Is this the best way to get that compact crossover luxury SUV and performance in a sporty wrapper with this Macan T? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radius Rides family. Of course, we can't do this without Mr. Guns McGee himself, Stephen Flood Photography. He's hitting the gym, he's lifting the weights. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for being swole. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.